Good to go.
Thank you. Ready?
Yes.
Vanessa, we're all good on your end?
We're good.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
I will call this February 23rd, 2021 meeting of Lawrence County Board of Commissioners to order. Would all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a brief moment of silence. Jeff, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All please remain standing for a brief moment of silence. Thank you. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel,
Here.
Commissioner Boyd,
Here.
I was gonna say yes.
I'll tell you. Oh, if there's, over the course of last year, if there's any possible way we could screw meetings up, we did it. These are just,
It is what it is.
it is what it is. We're doing, we manage to conduct business. That's the important thing.
We do.
Not well, but we do it.
It gets done.
We got a quorum, procedures. I'll note that anybody wishing to make public call. First, I'll note that because the snow melted, I got pollen flying up everywhere. I'm stuffed up. I got allergies like you wouldn't believe. And so that, and if I end up sneezing or sniffing my nose at any point along this journey,
It's a Kleenex.
it's not COVID. I'm not infectious. Granted, half the people in this room, I guess, already pretty much already
You're
got it.
over here.
But
We're the same people to be around.
actually, more than half.
Yeah, pretty much everyone.
But yeah, it's not COVID. It's just me. You know,
Right.
it's not jiving with nature. That being said, if anybody wants to make public comment, they can do so by submitting an email to mboyd@co.lawrence.pa.us. That's mboyd@co.lawrence.pa.us. We're working on shortening those email addresses
Yes.
to the point where, you know, it doesn't sound like an internet address.
Honestly.
But that's probably about a month away. Just if you use the subject line public comment, I don't have my phone on me here and the signal's not the greatest in this room, but if I go upstairs and see something that says public comment, we'll incorporate it into the record. Up next, row officer reports and comments. Looking around, I'm not seeing any row officers or anybody from any offices, which report to the rows. Public comment, like I said, mboyd@co.lawrence.pa.us. Make sure the subject line says public comment, otherwise I'll just think you're emailing me for, you know, information or ask or something. If you want it specifically recorded in minutes, please say public comment, just so I know. Fiscal and contractual, we have no advertising bids or proposals, no receipt of bids or proposals, no fiscal reports. We will have a couple advertisements, at least one or two next week. So get ready to look out for those. No report on quotes. We do have just a hell of a lot of warrant registers for February 1, 4, 8, basically the month of February.
Correct. Yeah.
So I'll give my colleague a minute to look those over, probably more than a minute, to
Right.
look those over, and then take a motion.
I did have
You're good?
a bit of time to review them earlier. Yes, so I will make that motion to accept.
Awesome. And I'll second that motion.
Okay.
We have a motion, a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. As I continue to sift through these to get to the minute. Look at this. This thickness.
Work goes on, right?
Uh,
Work goes on.
Always. We got approval of minutes from Tuesday, February 2nd and Tuesday, February 9th. That's just because, you know, again, we had light staffing up until this point. Thank God you guys are back with us.
Yeah, we had no support staffing, so
Was-
I'm
we,
sorry.
We got bells.
It's my fault.
We got bells ringing outside. Everybody just running out of the rooms to get to the bell.
we were trained quite well,
Yeah. Oh, it's ridiculous. Every time we have a bell at the front of our office
everybody.
where if you ring the bell, it goes to the point where you'd see, you know, 4 heads poke out of the office. Each
The
one of the-
traffic signal in the hallway, because we instantly all got up and went to the front of the office to see who it was.
I felt like I was in the circus,
Because
which more often than not I am here.
Right. we
But
didn't have Vanessa or Christine, so it was a difficult time. Thank you for the work that you do.
Thanks. It's good to be back.
it's good to have you back.
Yes, yes,
It's good to have you back.
absolutely.
That being said, we'll take if you look over the minutes, And when you're, I forgot to mention where Dan is. Dan,
Correct.
yeah, Dan had the reason why Dan isn't here today is he just had his son and daughter-in-law just had their first child. And so Dan is enjoying the newest member of his family. He's helping him out down in, I believe they're in Pittsburgh.
Yes, yeah.
But that's his,
Congratulations.
it's a healthy baby boy, 10 fingers and 10 toes, and we couldn't be more happy
That's right.
for Dan taking
Yes.
some time with his
Well
newest
deserved.
grandson.
Definitely well deserved. Yes.
But back to the minutes.
Mhm.
We've got a chance to look them over. We'll take.
Yes, yeah, also Jen that had an opportunity to do that earlier. I'll make that motion to accept the minutes.
All right.
For both,
Both.
the 2nd and the 9th of February, yes.
Gotcha. I'll second that. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Written communications.
Hmm.
Go through these expeditiously. We've got one Squaw One Road bridge replacement. Dear Commissioners, consulting engineer for Wayne Township, we wish to inform you of the township's intention to submit an application to DEP to obtain a general permit for the following project. Squaw Run Road bridge replacement in Wayne Township. It's Squaw Run Road bridge, I don't know how else to say that.
It is, that's
Section,
what it is.
1905-8 of the Commonwealth Administrative Code is amended by Act 14, requires each applicant for a DEP permit must give written notice to the municipality and county which permitted activity is located. Written notice shall be received by the municipality and county at least 30 days before the department may issue or deny the permit. So they're replacing a bridge. I'll note that the county actually contributed.
Absolutely, we did, yes.
We're paying
Mhm.
at the county level half the cost of that bridge replacement through our liquid fuels funding,
Yes,
and we're happy to do that for Wayne Township.
yes.
Up next, we've got from a company called Casgro, Act 14 notification, notifying the Casgro Rail Corporation is applying to Pennsylvania DEP for an MPDES permit for its facility at 121 Rundle Road, Taylor Township. I wonder who the hell named that. Rundle Road.
Universal Rundle down there.
You're right.
You're not old enough to.
I'm not. I don't even.
I wasn't either, I just took a guess. Oh, okay, Jeff.
I remember, I remember it too, so yeah. But it, yeah. I was laughing at something else. I got a funny one.
Oh, yeah, okay. Good recovery.
Live the Mahoney Town, come on. Another recovery.
Oh, shit.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, they're doing something down there.
Right.
Next, we got, dear Lawrence County, you've been identified as a property owner. Oh, we got a property owner. First Energy Company transmission right away crossing your property. Transmission lines provide power to thousands of electric customers. Purpose of this letter is to notify you that vegetation management work is planned for your property in 2021. A professional tree company has been contracted to perform the vegetation management work. Your cooperation in assisting this task will be greatly appreciated. Yeah, I guess they're trimming trees, like for electric transmission lines.
Right.
Pretty routine work. I hope it's the helicopter. You ever
But
seen one of those?
I have property in the back of my house that, yes, they
Did the
go,
helicopter?
it comes by and does it. Very
Do
interesting.
they actually, does that thing, because I've seen them on the ground, I've never actually
Uh-huh.
seen them in action. Does it just hang from a string like
Yep.
a big bus stop?
Correct.
I'd be scared like hell.
Absolutely correct. That's why I had to go out there and watch, and then I thought, well, what if the road breaks?
Well,
Get out of the
or
way.
how the hell, I mean, is it that accurate? They're able to like not hit the power lines? Because I feel like that might be an issue
Mhm.
unto itself.
They use it. I witnessed it, and it's very interesting. Yes.
Joe's over there just cracking up.
Yeah. See, with Dan not here, we're a little bit out of
We're a little rowdy.
control. We need to settle.
But anyway, yeah, they're cutting some power lines. Oh no, not cutting the power lines, they're cutting the trees around the power lines.
Mhm. Okay.
I'll note that we have, with the exception of probably the power line thing, we have no authority whatsoever to issue or
No.
deny permits. They're required by law to notify us of certain actions taking place with Lawrence County, usually as it relates to the Department of Environmental Protection or the Department of Transportation. But we and ourselves have no legal authority to approve or deny such permits. Again, they're just required to notify the county that those activities are taking place. That being said, do we have a motion to accept and file the written correspondence?
So moved.
All right, we have a second. I'm second. Motion is second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Proclamations and certificates. We have none today. Staff reports. Any member of staff here that has anything to report above and beyond what's on the agenda? Looking around, I got no. Commissioner reports and comments. Dan would have been first today, but like we mentioned earlier, he's enjoying some time with his newly born grandson. I can't wait to see some pictures.
Absolutely.
So it looks like I'm on deck first today. I just want to comment, there was a, and it's been announced at this point, I know it was on KDKA last night, that a number of counties are meeting later today to discuss starting a regional health department. Those counties are Beaver, Butler, Washington, Westmoreland, Greene, and Fayette, along with us. Commissioners in Beaver County were the first to voice this idea last year. Commissioner Camp, Commissioner Manning, and Commissioner Amadeo down in Beaver. I was contacted 2 weeks ago by Commissioner Vaughn in Washington County about the meeting, and our board brought it back to my two colleagues, and our board agreed that it would be a benefit to sit in on that meeting and be part of that larger conversation. The benefits of a regional health department, of us having our own health department, is that it allows our local region to have a little bit more autonomy in terms of health regulations. We wouldn't be as dependent on the state of Pennsylvania to provide health department services. We'd be able to run, in the case of the pandemic, we'd be able to run our own vaccination clinics. We'd have more control over regulations. We'd have more control over a lot as it relates to health needs, not just our population, but population around the Southwest Pennsylvania area. I'll say these conversations are very preliminary. Today's really just an exploratory meeting to talk about different counties' visions of what a health department, a regional health department, would encompass from a policy perspective. I think there are definite benefits to having a regional health department. At the same time, depending on the structure of it, it might also not be so beneficial. And I can tell you, that those benefits and drawbacks will be weighed. I can also tell you, and I think I speak for all three members of the board, that if the other counties get together and we get together, and the consensus of those 7 counties is to impose, any type of additional regulation above and beyond what is already put in place by the state for small businesses, for households, for members of our community, I think that we would most likely be opposed to that nature. That being said, this meeting today, again, very preliminary meeting.
Yes.
And I know I'm looking forward to attending, seeing some of our colleagues from around the region for the first time in a couple of months. And looking forward to that broader conversation that I'm sure is going to take place over the next couple of months. The only other thing I'll mention is there's a special meeting on Friday at 11:15. The county received an award for $968,000 for hospitality grants to businesses, or to business grants for businesses in the hospitality industry, more accurately. And under a provision of that law, we're required to administer that program through a certified economic development organization. In this case, Lawrence County Economic Development Corporation. We've structured are structuring a contract with that agency to administer the program. That contract will be voted on at 11:15 a.m. on Friday. We'll reveal some more of the details relating to that program at that time. That being said, Commissioner Spielvogel, you're on deck next.
You pretty much covered it, other than the reason for the special meeting is that I believe the contract has to be approved with our economic development by March 1st in order to access those funds. So it was a quick turnaround. We tried to get the two, the people on board and together, and with different agencies. And the first time that the Economic Development Corporation has been involved in this rollout, there's some questions that they had. And so it, put everything together, make sure we do everything correctly, dot the i's, cross the t's, and do it correctly. So there needs to be that special meeting that would happen because we want to get that contract signed and get that money to our local businesses that qualify.
Absolutely.
Another good thing that is happening to try to keep our smaller businesses afloat.
And I'll tell you this, I think, from a government standpoint, from a community standpoint, and we'll have more hard numbers specifically on what the county's done throughout the duration of the pandemic for the community on Friday. We're pulling all, more accurately, Amy's pulling all that together. But I think that's one of the strong points of our community is that throughout all this, I'm only aware of 2 restaurants throughout the entire county which have had to close their doors as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Which you go to other counties, you go down to Allegheny County, which is much larger, but you go down to Beaver County, you go up to some of our neighboring counties, and it's multiple times that figure. And so to that end, it's nice to see that the community has come out and supported those small businesses, helped them with takeout, giving tips to the employees even when they're doing takeout. And we were happy to supplement those efforts and do our part from the government side in terms of issuing these grants. But it's good that by and large throughout this, our business community has remained
viable.
Yes. And we'll move on to the, let's see, anything further?
Yep. Oh, good.
Move on to the new business section of the agenda. Resolution, we have from the planning department resolution discussion possible approve an agreement with Home grant funds for the amount of $500,000. Andy, would you approach the bench? Sure.
So this is easy. This is a redo because
We love redos.
well, what happened was, if you recall, I brought this to you in January because they had a deadline. LCAP is the one submitting the application on behalf of the county. And so Mike, I told Mike I would handle it. I'd get to the commissioners meeting. You guys passed it. And then they had their public hearing. And so, in Home, a DCD was reviewing the application with them. She caught it and just asked if we would redo the resolution, date it for today. So that's really why I'm here, just so you guys can redo the resolution, sign off on it, date it for today after the date of the public hearing so that we're in compliance with DCD's regulations, so.
With relation, this is the standard that we apply for pretty much every year, right? It's not additional funding.
No, this is what we have.
Okay. And would you, just in, under a minute or something like that, I know what Home is, and Loretta knows what Home is, and a lot of people in the room know what Home is. Would you be able to explain what exactly Home does, the Home program
is
does?
just, it's a grant that we can utilize for the Department of Community and Economic Development. Lawrence County Community Action Partnership administers the program, and it's for our owner-occupied rehab, basically. That we can use, in addition to our CDBG dollars, and then we match it with the lead dollars, Healthy Homes Initiative. So really, it is just a nice pot of money that LCAP utilizes very well in the county.
That's all the things I signed from Stacey Schwartz, right? Vanessa's over there laughing because she knows I hate it. every time I walk into the room, I get a stack of papers from Stacey Schwartz.
Yeah.
God bless you and all the work you do, Stacey. That's no joke either. They do great work. Joe, are you raising your hand over there? Or are you just stretching?
I'm raising my hand.
What do you got?
We're approving it today, if the commissioners so choose to approve it at the end of the meeting. Do you want it certified for today, or do
Yes,
you want the
please.
certification? Okay,
Yeah, you
because
can
the
do
original was the 12th of,
Yeah, no, everything today, please.
okay,
Yeah, everything needs to be after the public hearing.
okay, thank
I
you.
mean, we followed all the right protocols.
Right.
It was the only.
They caught.
We're just ahead of the game.
Well,
You guys are excited to approve it. I wanted it off my plate.
We get very excited to approve stuff like this. It's free money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
$500,000.
And Mike will be happy. He's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. We're taking care of it.
Yeah, no issue.
Yeah, all right, thanks.
All right, cool. And like I said, such a great program for our
It is.
for our community.
Right.
Yeah, they do a great job down there too, so.
They
they're
do.
great to work with.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
all right, thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
And we'll make that.
Candace, and you're on speed dial, you know it.
Oh, I would tell you think you're the only one that got a text last night.
I'm sleeping. I'm in bed then. I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was tempted to text him at 5 o'clock this morning.
You should
but I
have.
didn't.
You should have.
And my phone.
10:01. 10:01.
I woke up at 5.
You've texted me before, and you've done that before. I'll text you at like 11, and you'll text me knowing it wakes me up at like 4:30.
Text me at 11 o'clock. Actually,
I
I'm
never
texting
thought
at
of
5
doing
in the
that.
morning when I was sleeping.
Okay,
That's
that's good.
this morning, then we text.
That's good.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Vanessa, what number is that on the resolution?
39.
39. All right, that's an easy one. Up next, we'll do, Mr. Baldwin with the, mental health, agreement with IM4Q, or Lawrence County Social Services IM4Q. Scott, approach the bench.
I'll follow Amy with another simple one. This is a contract between Lawrence County Social Services and NEC office. Contract will run from July 1st, 2020 to June 30th, 2021. Contract will not exceed $24,150. And this is the IM4Q surveys, and these are surveys completed on Lawrence County residents living in licensed residential group homes and developmental services. They look at life outcomes and just the overall satisfaction of the treatment they're receiving.
How much money did you say it was?
$44,150.
I think that's what's in the budget for it.
There you go. Any odd cents?
So it's, it's just a standard. They do it all every year. Do a great job.
So it's basically a third-party review, making sure that, it gives us information, basically says, hey, either A, we're doing our job, we're doing it well, or B, you're doing your job, you're doing it well, but here's a couple things we might tweak.
Right, and it needs to be by an independent provider. It can't be through a development services provider. It has to be someone neutral. So that's,
Okay,
they do a great job with it. So,
I think that by that statement they've done in the past.
yes.
okay, very good.
All right, I have no issue. Any issues with that one?
No.
All right, we're in good shape. We'll make that resolution 2021-40.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Up next, we've got, Mr. Parrish with a resolution for discussion and possible approval to adopt the Lawrence County 2021 hazard mitigation. Do we have one of these plans every year, hazard mitigation?
Hazard mitigation's every 5 years.
Okay.
This was the last one, of course, was dated, was 2017. So we started, actually, it's considered 2018 when we started it, but we never started it till last year, actually, and in 2019, we received funding from it. Also, we got a $40,000 grant, hired FCM consultants to work on it. They did the last one.
Gotcha.
So the process was, we went through, had a bunch of public meetings, everybody's invited. All the municipalities are involved with it, provided paperwork back to us on if they had any type of projects or whatever to try to mitigate any hazards, flooding, different things like that. Most of the municipalities did reply back. There's a couple we reached out to, late on their paperwork getting through, but it's not going to.
Right.
Not going to affect them. I think I sent it out, make sure Frank contacted them all so that we have everybody included. The ultimate goal is to have 100% participation. This way, the municipalities do not need to do their own hazard mitigation plan. We sent them out a sample resolution and stuff like that, and they do it. They just adopt the county plan, same with like emergency operations plan. So they adopt ours and they're good with that.
Has anyone not made the determination to not adopt ours?
This one has just gone out. Last year, there was at least one, if not two municipalities that did not adopt it, whether it was through error or just overlooking it and stuff. We reached out. Because in actuality, we don't want anybody not to. It doesn't cost them any money. The issue is if there is a disaster and there's flooding or there's, that there is a declared disaster, that money's available. If a local municipality said, we met the threshold for damage, then it's going to be, well, you didn't adopt your hazard mitigation plan that the county put out. So
Have all the municipalities indicated that they will be supportive of this plan?
yeah, everybody was included from day one, and like I said, everybody participated. And like everything else, we started off strong.
Sure.
And it was just a core group that went through it. But we reached out to all of them. The ones that were included on our email last week that said these ones exclude them because they haven't got their paperwork.
Right.
I sicked Fran on them, and
Oh, so it was done.
So it's
done.
taken
Yeah,
care
it's
of.
back. And again, it's just an oversight. And I mean,
Yeah.
we do a lot of the work for them also just because we don't want anybody to be left out. It doesn't cost us any more than a
Right.
phone call and, just pass your money to get it done.
Yes.
So this is just the adoption, and once this is adopted, then the local municipalities, of course, would probably start adopting theirs on
Right.
this week or next week, whatever their local meetings are, but they've all designed all of them.
And this is effectively, identifying areas that, they might have higher potential for flooding areas.
Exactly.
You know.
And if other municipalities, I know the city of Newcastle always has a plan, there's different, not plans, but projects
Mhm.
that we tell them to look out to, like Shenango Township, with some of the flooding out by the trailer park area out there, in the city, of course, down on Big Run, and different areas like that that they've had.
Yes.
Those are things, and as long as you adopt a hazard mitigation plan and have it, you can be eligible for funding if it comes around, if there's more. So there are multiple projects in there. I can't tell you what they are. I haven't really seen them all. But, a lot of municipalities have submitted stuff that, and again, it's a matching 100% coverage.
Right.
But if there's money available, even before disaster, to try to do we sort of call it pre-disaster, mitigation, that, buy up property. There's money to
Yes.
buy up property that floods all the time and don't put anything in there.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah, so that's what this encompasses. So we do this. And like I said, every 5 years we have to do it.
Gotcha.
Very good.
Any objections?
Nope.
Questions, comments? All right,
Yeah.
we'll make that 41.
Okay.
Bless you.
And again, that's
Thank you.
allergies, that is not COVID. So you and I were still safe, Jeff.
Right.
You didn't get it yet, right?
Don't you jinx me.
Ah!
No, sir, I have not.
I'm in the same boat. I'm the last man standing.
No one in my family have got it. My wife works with healthcare too. She has not. We've been fortunate, but
That's great.
wait for the phone call now, Morgan. Thanks.
Yeah, never seen. Very good.
No, you're not. You're in good shape.
I'm nice and healthy.
Oh.
Hey, by the way, I saw, was it the 1 year anniversary? I saw a thing on Facebook. Did you 1 year anniversary of getting your dog?
Oh yeah, they made a big deal. Yeah,
Oh, that was cute.
Yeah, their little puppy that we went. Yeah.
Very cute dog.
Oh yeah, labs are great.
Oh, that's it. I laughed forever.
Yep.
But, hey,
Okay, thanks.
You're
I'll be
ready.
in touch with you.
Thank
guys.
you.
All right, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
hey,
You
you too.
too.
Scott, you're welcome to take off too if you've got,
I have,
you got a thing?
yeah, but
Yeah.
after the meeting,
All right.
but I figured.
We have a thing after the
You got a thing? All right, boards, we'll make this before I even start into the spiel, 42.
Great.
We have an open seat to Lawrence County Housing Authority. That seat has traditionally been filled with the fire chief for Elwood City. Elwood City and Newcastle are currently the only two municipalities in Lawrence County which have housing authority sites. We always try to provide Elwood City with representation on that
Yes.
5-member board due to the fact that they do indeed have 2 housing authority complexes in the borough of Elwood City. And again, just to reiterate, traditionally that's been the fire chief down there
Mhm.
who is currently Rick Myers.
Yes.
And he lives in Wayne Township, which again kind of ties into that southern part of the county.
Correct.
Rick's a phenomenal guy. I've had the pleasure of interacting with him, not as much as I would have liked because of COVID-19, but in every meeting that I've been in, where he's participated, in every instance where I've had an interaction with him, it's always been a positive one. Just a great guy, great community leader, and I'm certain that he will fulfill the duties of this appointment diligently. Any additional comments?
I couldn't agree more with everything that you have said. Yes, he will be a fine addition. Absolutely.
Make that 42.
Okay.
Up next, COVID policy. The way, I'll make this 43, the way in which we've structured our COVID policy last year, the policy itself sunset at the end of the year, December
Right.
31. And the rationale for that was the federal law, which drove a lot of that policy, had a sunset provision where it also expired December 31. And that law is FFCRA, Family First Coronavirus Response Act. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. When that law expired, it necessitated another conversation on COVID policy. And to that end, our solicitor and human resources department sort of got together, created this policy, and this gives us something to go off standardized for, unfortunately, when, not if, employees get
Right.
COVID-19. And that's just, moving forward, that's just an unfortunate reality,
Yes.
until such time as either the majority of the population is vaccinated,
Mhm.
or, there's also the potential that we very simply, this is just something that we have to live with,
Correct.
moving forward.
Correct.
So this provides basically an updated amended COVID-19 employee policy. Questions, comments?
And again, as you said, whatever the future holds, what we have to live with, we've changed policies different times, depending on what the CDC or Department of Health has changed in regulations, and we're just trying to keep up with everything while supporting the staff that we have, even though the act did expire at the end of last year. We still wanted to offer some continuing services and support systems for our employees. This is where we're at right now. A month from now, it could change, 2 months, 3 months. We just don't know, but we want to stay on top of it and continue to keep our employees safe yet healthy.
Absolutely.
Yes,
43.
yes,
We'll make this, we have a bunch of budget amendments next.
great.
It's called, I got back from being stuck in Texas. Joe's over there laughing.
We all laughed.
Yeah, I hear you laughing. I got no power. We got roads iced over. I got stoplights that weren't working. The only food place we were able to find was a Chinese spot near where George Bush lives. It was good Chinese though. I couldn't charge my phone. I think I tried to participate in the retirement board. It just blacked out on me.
At least you weren't sick. At least you
This
could
is
taste that
true.
Chinese food.
You know how many times I'm on this diet on 77? I got cars running at me. They're slamming into the curbs.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
flipping all over the place.
Oh.
And not to mention, you don't know who's got COVID around you. That being said, again, someone managed to come out unscathed because by a total happenstance, I've been away whenever the office
Sure,
seems to get
yes,
COVID cases.
absolutely, right.
What are you gonna do?
Hey,
But, budget amendment number 1. This is related to, the coroner has a fund, it's called Act 182, and it's through various fees that office levies, relating to functions that office performs, but the monies generated from those fees are specifically under the law to be used for, either A, his coroner education, and training, or B, improving, sort of the operations of that
Right.
office. And so to that end, this was originally included in the general fund. However, upon closer examination, and it's been historically included in the general fund, upon closer examination of that law, and at the request of that office, this funding is being moved sort of to its own dedicated area in the budget. And I think that's beneficial to us because it's, again, this is money that can only be used for a
right,
specific
for
purpose.
those purposes,
And,
yes.
it just makes sense. But I will say that RJ, Coroner Johnson, since taking the position of coroner, the fees generated from that Act 182 have increased by a multiple of 4. And so he's out there really doing everything he can to try to offset county costs,
Sure,
which is certainly, I know, appreciated by us, and I'm sure appreciated by the taxpayers.
absolutely.
But that's what that is. So we'll make that 44. This is, I just went through the budget, quite frankly, yesterday, which I do pretty frequently, and looked at any areas where there were overages, any areas where there was not enough money. We went over a budget line item. And those areas, a lot of them were in the controller's office, through no real fault of the controller. One of his part-time employees, for example, took a retirement incentive. There was only 25, and I didn't realize that she had taken it structured in a way where she'd be getting it this year, as opposed to last year. And so there was only $2,500 put aside in that fund for part-time assistance. That was all used up, plus $7,500 in order to pay out that retirement.
Yes.
So that transfers that. The overtime expense at the beginning of the year, the controller's office incurs a whole lot of responsibilities. They process out different tax forms, different auditing forms, anything relating to year-end reports, et cetera. That office was purposefully and intentionally short-staffed, not short-staffed, but their staffing
Right.
decreased.
Yes.
And so to that end, they needed to bring some guys in for a little bit of overtime.
Mhm.
And then on top of that, as we move to a more remote world, postage expense goes up, and they went a little bit over on their postage, which same with any office right now, it's almost expected.
Correct.
So we'll make that 45. Is there any Kleenex over there?
Is that one
There it is.
back here? There you go.
There you go.
Next one, 46. This is, let's really do a couple of things. The overage isn't that large of an overage. I believe that this relates to a program that the DA has structured with the Hoyt, number one, and then number two, we paid out a lot of monies to this $3,000 grants to
Yes.
to different basically businesses which were shut down as a result of
Right.
governor's orders back in December.
December.
And a lot of the funding came out of that, as opposed to what should have come out of the 2020 budget. But just based on when forms got back to us, based on when
Yes.
things were able to be processed, some were paid out in 2021, and as a result have to be reported in the 2021 budget. So that's what that is. 46. DA, this is relating to the crisis program. We'll make this 47. This is very simple. We received more money than we thought we were.
It's always a good.
I'll take it.
Always good.
I'll take it. And then what we'll do here is as we typically do, we'll go through the we'll go through the admin transfers, take them all in one lump, and then go back and do the everything else.
Yes.
So, here we have $590. I thought I put money in there for that. $590 from the contingency in public safety to office minor equipment to pay for the alarm system and web access. You know where that probably is housed, and we'll make the transfer, but it's out of the contingency, so it doesn't matter. But I think that's housed in material in maintenance and repair, not
Okay.
not minor, because
Mm,
it's not really equipment.
right, it's not. But
But we'll make it.
An alarm.
Yeah.
right.
$10,000 central services miscellaneous admin to central services telephone. This is due to when we shifted telephone contracts, we incurred a little bit of additional cost to pay off the contract. It ultimately still results in a significant savings for the county, but we're having to pay off an old contract.
Correct.
And so that's 10 grand for that. District attorney, this is $620 from his contingency to his part-time. And what this is that office went through some personnel changes. They didn't do those changes. Originally it was anticipated it would be done at the beginning of the year. The way that it played out, it happened at the beginning of February. And so to that end, there was some part-time cost incurred related to DA's office.
Okay.
Central court, I guess they incurred some overtime.
It happens.
It happens. And then this is controller maintenance and repair, or commissioner maintenance and repair to commissioner equipment lease. This is being done at the request of the controller. Originally, just because I thought it was a hell of a lot easier, we have contracts with it's either our printers or our scanners relating to, basically we have a finance agreement
Mhm.
because there's so many of them you finance
Right.
and you print. They've been historically, some have been in equipment lease,
Yes.
some have been in maintenance and repair. I put in everything in maintenance and repair. I guess the controller's office doesn't like that. And so, I don't know why, but we'll shift it back.
Yes.
Think it'd make things easier, but, we're government, we don't do easy. And so to that end, I'll take is there any objections, comments, questions? I'll take a motion to approve administrative transfers A through E.
So moved.
I'll second that. Motion second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And then I'll take a motion to amend the agenda to allow for voting on resolutions 2021-39 through 2021-47.
So moved.
Second, with motion second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We'll start voting. Resolution 2021-039, that's be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners. The housing needs exists in the region has been identified in local, state, consolidated, comprehensive plans. The proposed housing activity addresses the need. The county required citizen participation process. County's granted Lawrence County Social Services to make the application for administrative its funds in the amount of $500,000. The county will reimburse the Commonwealth for any expenditures found by DCP being eligible. County commissioners shall be directed to execute the certificate to the adoption of this resolution from copy of the Department of Community and Economic Development. Commissioner Chairman is hereby authorized to execute all documents pertaining to the application and administration of these funds. We have a motion.
So moved.
Most. Oh, we got a squad over there cracking up. I'll second that. We have motion second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you.
My mouth gets so dry because I have to talk so much.
We got you're welcome. If you want to, if you want to read a couple of these, they're all yours. We'll do resolution 2021-40. I don't know if it was all by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners. The agreement listed on item 2 shall be approved starting January 1, 2020 through December 31, 20. Is that supposed to be 2020? Or is that 2020? January 1, 2020 through December 31,
Right.
2021? Or is that January 1, 2021 through December 31, 2021?
It's fiscal
Should
year.
be 21.
Right.
Should be 21.
This year,
I'll make it correct.
2021? Right, okay.
So with that addendum,
See, lucky you read that.
that's what I'm saying.
Right,
Otherwise, we wouldn't have actually paid it. It wouldn't have been an issue. But
right.
anyway, now be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners that the agreement listed in item 2 shall be approved starting January 1, 2021 through December 31, 2021. Authorization is hereby given to execute the following addendum. Lawrence County Social Services IM4Q is detailed in the attachment, designated 2021-something. Program description and rates are also listed within the attachment. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion. Sal, second that. Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 2021-41. Now be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners that 1, Lawrence County Hazard 2021 Hazard Mitigation Plan is hereby adopted as the official hazard mitigation plan of the county. And 2, the respective officials and agencies identified in the implementation strategy of Lawrence County 2021 Hazard Mitigation Plan are hereby directed to implement the recommended activities assigned to them. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second, we have a motion to second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion. Beth, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 2021-42. Now therefore resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners that Rick Myers of Wayne Township be appointed to Lawrence County Housing Authority with an expiration date of December 31, 2024. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second, we have a motion. Second, is there any discussion? I just asked, I think you're a little bit closer to him than I am. Would you be able to shoot him a text or give him a call after this meeting, let him know he's
I will
officially?
do that.
And
Yes,
then
I will.
And I'll follow up with Gene DeGenero and let him know that.
That's okay. It's taken care of. Yes. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Any further comments? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 2021-43, now that be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners that Lawrence County Commissioners authorize the updated Lawrence County Government Employee Handbook with the attached policy related to COVID-19. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second, we have a motion to second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 2021-44, and that be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners to amend the 2021 Lawrence County budget as follows. Decrease the general fund corner act 182 revenue account by $40,000, decreasing central services miscellaneous admin expense account by $40,000, increasing general fund corner act 182 revenue account by $40,000. Oh, I don't think that's general fund. I'm going to take out the general fund there. It was probably my fault when I handed that into that sheet to Vanessa. Increasing Corner Act 182 revenue account by $40,000 and increasing Corner Act 182 expense account by $40,000. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second, a motion is second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 2021-45, now resolved by the Lawrence County Board of Commissioners to amend the 2021 Lawrence County budget as follows: increasing general fund commissioner contingency, or decreasing general fund commissioner contingency account by $7,500, increasing general fund controller part-time temporary staff expense account by $7,500, decreasing general fund commissioner contingency expense account by $450, increasing general fund controller overtime expense by $450, decreasing general fund commissioner contingency expense account by $200, increasing general fund controller postage account by $200. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion, I'll second that. You get tripped up, you get a little tongue-tied when you say that.
No.
We have a motion, I'll second that. We have a motion to second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion, Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 2021-46, now therefore be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners to amend the 2021 Lawrence County budget as follows: decreasing general fund commissioner contingency expense account by $1,505, increasing general fund miscellaneous allocation expense account by $1,505. Who would mention?
So moved.
Second, we have a motion to second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 2021-47, I think be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners to amend the 2021 Lawrence County budget as follows: increasing general fund district attorney crisis program grant revenue account by $16,112 and increasing general fund crisis program materials and supplies expense account by $16,112. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second, we have a motion second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. That takes care of that. No ordinances on the table for introduction or for final action. Next regularly scheduled commissioners meeting will be for, regularly scheduled is 10 a.m. next Tuesday, but again, there's going to be that special meeting on Friday at 11:15. Anything additional from you?
No. All good here.
Joe, anything you have anything to add?
No, we're good.
Cool, we're in good shape. And, again, public comments, envoy@co.lawrence.pa.us. Please include the subject line public comment. I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, we have a motion and a second. Question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Lawrence County Board of Commissioners adjourned.
Good job.
I tried my best. It's good.
Stuffed up and all, truly. We joked about it, but that's.
It's getting better. Frank gave me some stuff for it.
Yes, there's, good,
Might have to do another one.